Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age 2. We should inform the Viscount of what has happened.
Nice, quiet
we put it off for a little bit.
Gone. Along with a whole street.
I killed the thieves responsible.
Right. A mad elf pushed by zealots, likely hidden in the very groups I have to appease. The Maker has a grand sense of humor. And the Arishok. I suspected he had no plans to leave. I didn't know it was just as annoying for him.
He's a hair from the edge. You need to keep everyone calm.
Too late, I fear. It's a shame. He was making overtures of cordialness. Your influence, no doubt.
Get to what happened.
A Qunari delegate and entourage paid me a visit. It was civil, tentative, hopeful. They left my chambers with precision, but were not reported by the outer guard. They are missing, almost literally, from my doorstep. What do you imagine will be the Arishok's reaction?
I've had enough to do with the Arishok.
He would probably be disappointed in this,
I don't
honestly.
need this.
None of us do, Sarah Hawke. Someone is pushing very hard, and I fear they want this to end badly. Speak with Seneschal Bran. Then you will see why I cannot trust anyone else with this. I don't know who would benefit from fighting the Qunari, but it will cost all
Well,
of
it
us.
seems we have some issues.
You have information about the
Problems
missing
in the city
Qunari?
guard.
I am to help you,
Even
yes.
with Aveline around, it seems
Viscount
they
Dumas would appreciate discretion
have
in
issues.
this matter. I would prefer that you were not involved at all, but that is neither here nor there.
Has anyone reported this to the Qunari?
Maker, no. I'd be signing the messenger's death warrant. He'll find out soon enough, of course. And when he does, the Viscount is rightly concerned that the illusion of peace will dissolve.
The Arishok is growing violent. He might want an excuse to end this peace.
I suspect that if the Arishok wanted to take over, he simply would. For all we fear that heretical Qun of his, its demands have done more to keep him in check than any of our efforts. Besides, would Qunari stoop to trickery? There is no precedent, but there is unfortunate evidence of influence on our side.
It sounds like you don't want them found.
I must think of what is best for the Viscount's office. Bringing attention to such an incident benefits no one.
You would do nothing.
The Qunari are neutral hostiles at best. There is no relationship to salvage by overextending ourselves on their behalf.
The Arishok is growing violent.
For all... Besides, would Qunari stoop to trickery? There is no precedent.
I'm having a hard time picturing the abduction of a Qunari entourage.
Unfortunately, they were not at their best. Their swords were tied into their sheaths.
It's a really bad situation we find ourselves in, though.
Advised. It seemed a respectful compromise. Even I know you cannot separate a Qunari from his weapon.
I don't need your opinion. Get to what you know.
Have a
The delegate and his entourage
delegates
could not be made to disappear without the knowledge of the city guard. Not coincidentally, a number of recent recruits have failed to report.
The city
You
guard
should
is
start
blind.
with one of them. Although where you find a
Slightly.
swordsman so eager
Yes.
to sell his honor and duty, I'm sure I don't know.
The Hanged Man.
Hanged Man. Even I know that. Right. Then you know what to look for. I can't imagine this has occurred without notice. There is always a weak link. Please keep this quiet. The Viscount is under enough scrutiny as it is.
That corner looks dusty. Embarrassing.
Well, down here in the Hanged Man, we find this guy.
Rich spending. It's a bit over your head, isn't it?
That's right, pal. Tonight I'm paid and blessed, and all I had to do was turn my head.
Boy, is he dumb.
To all my friends,
You don't literally just say
hey,
anyone
step back. I know
asking
all the
you is
people.
just, you know,
We're going to show this city what to do with heathen Oxman.
hey, Here you seem to be spending a lot of money.
You do when your target doesn't have their weapon.
Oh yeah. I just didn't do my job.
I can take the likes of you. You want some of this? Take it from me and my new friends. You're on your own, pal. That's loyalty for you. Come on.
And a special thing happens in this fight because we are in the Hanged Man, and Isabella's standing right there. She joins in. This is one of the few times you end up having an extra person helping you out. But that was not
I left
difficult.
your teeth so you can answer me.
What? What do you want? I just did what he said. It was more coin than I've ever seen.
Good start. Now, who and where is he?
I don't know. He was a Templar. We met near the Chantry. He said taking these Kunari was serving the Maker. I swear,
a
he even had the
Templar
seal of the
near
Grand
the
Cleric.
Chantry.
True is true.
Oh, I think we might have ran into this Templar before.
A fine joke, that. A Templar.
Her Grace would never be involved in something like this.
So let's hop over to the
The man
Chantry.
was a drunk. Surely you don't think Grand Cleric Elthina is funding zealots?
I want answers about the missing Kunari.
Keep an open mind, Hawk. Elthina isn't behind this.
The Grand Cleric, please. Tell her... Just tell her to get out here.
Sarah Hawk.
Sister Patrice.
Mother Patrice. Time has changed us both. Grand Cleric Elthina cannot grant an audience to just anyone. What do you want?
Funny how you and issues with
Why
the
is
Kunari
it
seem to go together.
And you
that
always assume their
she
side.
has not been caught for
I was
anything
naive
yet?
when last we met. I did not want you dead, but I felt a death
Because she is
was
not
necessary.
very subtle in it.
That may be too fine a point for you to understand.
And also her fact about the Grand Cleric not being able
You
to
came
meet
out the better
anyone.
for it.
You can literally walk into the Chantry, go up the stairs that are just behind her,
Quite an accusation.
up to that balcony or
Ridiculous, of course.
raised platform there,
She leads a great many
and the
people.
Grand Cleric standing right there.
Commander.
I must agree, Hawk. Grand Cleric Elthina would never do such a thing.
A Templar used her seal to convince others the act was righteous. A pause that says you knew. But does her grace?
The Grand Cleric trusts her stewards to enact the wishes of the Maker.
And
I doubt she
the worst part about this,
She will hear of it.
we can't go just tell the Grand Cleric.
Stubborn.
For some reason, we do not have that option.
Sarah Hawk.
And we can't just stab her in the face,
Let me offer you something.
no matter how much we wish to stab her in
is
the
a
face.
radical who has grown unreliable. Confronting him may do us all a favor.
And you know this how?
He is my former bodyguard, Ser Von El. Assume what you wish, but I offer him to you as reconciliation. Meet me at this location. I invite you, Sarah Hawk. Come see the unrest these Kunari have inspired.
That's a setup.
It's her game, for the moment.
Well,
Bianca is a very pretty name.
we now have a location
I'll
to
tell
go
her you
to
said so, Daisy.
to find
She
the
can't actually hear you, can she?
Of
Templar
course
that
she can.
enacted this.
What kind of question is that?
Wait, are we talking about your crossbow or something else now?
Honestly, the appropriate thing to do would have been to report this
For an extremist rally.
and have officials come down to then see this happen and cause Patrice a lot of trouble. Hawk isn't that smart, though.
Watch where you step.
I loved him. Piece of cake.
Instead, we come here and run into this scene,
Like any beast, remove the
which leads to one of the hardest
faithful of the Maker. The only
fights,
certainty in their precious cocoon is
especially
for the righteous.
if you are on anything besides normal. Even on normal, it's very difficult, as you'll see.
Take a knee, faithful. The Chantry blesses us.
You claim a blessing when you have used the authority of the Grand Cleric so openly? You have brought wrath down upon you. You remember Serah Hawk? The Kunari have friends, Templar. How will you answer their allegations?
You want to fight? Face someone whose weapons are not bound.
Righteous. Destroy them.
And if you look at the minimap, you will see why this is the hardest fight you basically have faced up to this point. We start off with a grand total of about 12 people, and more just pour in.
Not doing anything. Useless.
This was a fight that took me a couple of attempts to do, and I kind of got fed up with it. So we'll kind of have to enact Hawk's special kill everything abilities of console fans. But yeah, this is honestly, this fight is a mess, and shows why they probably could have fixed this by not having these enemies take so much damage to kill. If they were all the small health enemies, that'd be okay. And if you notice, my team has gone down, and the fight's still not over. So, seeing as how I was already done this a couple times, and this is just really a huge tangled mess of a fight, because they have archers on both sides, melee come and just rush you, the Templar that even if you kill him, all the other things are still there. We're just gonna console command them dead.
Alright. Time to bring this mess to the Viscount's attention.
And I cut it out, but looting
Madness.
the area
It
just
certainly
past
is.
where the fight was happening, and the people actually get you a item for Aveline.
Her Grace had no knowledge of this affair. I trust she will deal with it swiftly.
You killed them? All of them?
A mother serving the Grand Cleric allowed this to happen.
Are you quite sure? She held a blade with them? Told them to fight you?
No, I cannot say that.
Of course not. Blasted mother. You have no idea the storm these allegations would cause. It would destroy what support I do have.
The other strange thing is,
This may have scared her
for
off.
all the stuff that's been happening with the Chantry people and everything, Sebastian
Well, that is something.
doesn't tell anybody in the Chantry that, you know,
Gently.
hey, Mother Patrice was doing some pretty shady things.
For now, we have other problems. We have the delegate, but I can't return the bodies to the Qunari in this state. Serah Hawke, you know the Arishok. What should I do?
Hiding this would only make it worse.
It would, wouldn't it? I'm losing my sense of how to balance this nightmare. I appreciate your help in this matter. As bad as this is, it could have been much worse without you. Kirkwall owes you. I owe you.
Well, after all that killing, it's good to be home and wise gambling in our house.
No, Leandra. Leandra.
What's all the yelling about?
Where's your mother? Is she feeling all right?
How should I know? I just got home.
Your mother didn't show up for our weekly visit. Is she ill? She is here, isn't she?
No, Gamlin. We haven't seen her all day.
Where could she be?
With her suitor, perhaps?
Suitor? Leandra never mentioned a suitor.
Well, those lilies arrived for her this morning.
Oh no.
White lilies.
That is
I know something
not
about that.
good sounding.
Don't just leave me waiting. What is it?
There's a killer in Kirkwall who sends his victims white lilies before he takes them. He's murdered several women already.
No. You're wrong. Leandra is fine.
Ignoring the facts doesn't change them.
You don't know for sure that she's in trouble. Maybe Leandra took another path to my house. I could have just missed her. I'm going back to Lowtown.
You should help Gamlin look for your mother. You might be able to track her more easily once night falls and the streets empty out. All right. The boy and I will stay here in case she returns. Good to see you again, Miss Eyre. There's a letter
Well,
for you. Strange how the messages never come.
that's not good. But we can't really search until the evening. So we have quite a day ahead of us. See you next time for that.